In 2017, Bluehole Studio released PUBG and started the Battle Royale craze for gamers. Their inspiration came from the survival game DayZ, which was already plenty popular, but they added the Ring of Death mechanic that would constantly push players closer and closer together as it shrunk. The game was a smash hit upon its release and became the go-to game for many gamers and streamers alike. Its success was noticed, and soon other battle royals like Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, and Apex Legends started to emerge, each wanting to collect a piece of that huge battle royal player base for themselves. In order to play PUBG, players had to buy the game at the cost of $29.99. But the newer battle royal games that were being released under a free-to-play model. And over time, the developers of PUBG realized they couldn't compete against this free-to-play model as they were steadily losing more and more of their player base. So on January 12, 2022, PUBG decided to also go free-to-play in a last-ditch effort to try and recapture some of their past players, as well as to gain some new ones who had never gotten a chance to play the game under its pay model. So the question becomes, does this age granddaddy of battle royale games still have enough happening within to still be taken seriously and to still be considered good? Or has the game outlived its life and its ability to still be fun? Let's find out together in this ×2 review. And it's time for another ×2 review. Hi guys, I'm Extermicide and I'm here with my buddy Ark.
What's up everybody?
And today we are doing PUBG. Gotta ask, have you played this before?
Yes, I have, and it's been a long time. We actually played this back when it first came out in the beta, early access, and that's very short window. And I got spanked pretty hard, and that was it. And that was after that for a while. So
the only games I've played is we just installed it. Had to play a couple of games just to allow it to unlock everything for me. That's all I've done so far. So this game was released in 2017. However, it became free to play in 2022. So January of this year, it actually became free to play. So that's the only reason I probably had never checked it out, is because you had to buy it back then, or I don't even know how much it costs, but
yeah, I can't remember what it was, but I remember I had some guys that are some good long-time friends. We were playing this together, and it felt like I was just a pack mule. I would just gather everything up with them and run with them, and eventually I'd just get shot, and they would just like cannibalize me and then just move on. So I felt that was my purpose in the game.
So the publisher is PUBG Corporation, and they were formerly known as Bluehole Studio. And if that name sounds familiar, they are the ones who, if you follow the MMORPG genre, they are the creators of Terra Online. So kind of a big contrast there to go from an MMO to a Battle Royale type game. And the game was also developed by the PUBG Corporation. It's the granddaddy of Battle Royale games. This is the one that started it all. So without this, we wouldn't have had a Warzone, we wouldn't have had Apex Legends, we wouldn't have had Fortnite. This was the one that started it all. So I'm just gonna be really curious to see if it actually has held up well compared to all the new contenders that are in the battlefield now. And yeah, let's jump into the freaking review. So the first thing we always check out is the store. We just want to know, is there any pay to win at all in the game? And going into the store, I am seeing cosmetics, I am seeing emotes, I'm seeing what looks to be like paints that you can do on the walls. But beyond that, I am not seeing anything else.
Knuckles, is that something that you're that you get then, or is that something actually just customizing that vehicle when you do get it sometime in the game?
It looks like it's a skin, skins for the vehicles. I do see for 700 battle points you can get the, I think that's what they call them, is battle points, but because it says BP, but I could be wrong on that. You could buy a random crate, so they have random loot crates that you can buy and see what the heck you get. I'm not a fan of loot crates. They got some really freaking fancy, or some bizarre, in some cases, some bizarre cosmetics, like the polar bear suit, the cheerleader outfit, and there's just pretty much anything you want to do at this point. You can make your character look however you want. A giant lobster, a scuba diver, just weird things you would actually wouldn't picture seeing on the battlefield. But I am not seeing anything that gives any kind of XP freaking gains. I'm not seeing anything that gives you stronger weapons.
You know, that random crate, you know, I'm just thinking that could be just something what we see here, just a bunch of different skins of different weapons, vehicles, utility, you know, things like that and everything. So that's kind of, I don't know anything about it, but that's kind of what I'm assuming.
My problem with it is the price. You know, it's showing as 700 of that coin. So, you know, let's say your kid freaking buys one of these random crates and he opens it up and he gets the freaking super scary tiger sweatshirt, which only costs 200 freaking coin. He might as well have just bought what he wanted point blank. You know, I don't like when they introduce something random like this and you could get something good. You might come out ahead, but you could also get something crappy, and it would have been better for you just to buy that crappy item outright. So, but they know what they're doing. I mean, it's it works until some kind of...
You know what, here I've got, how many battle points do you have right now, just out of curiosity?
1,108.
So it took what 2 or 3 rounds to get that much money? That one round,
I don't even know if I got it from the rounds or if it was something that was introduced to me as a, hey, you know, welcome to the game type gift.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Since I've got the coin, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see what I get. I received a biker crate and a customized shirt, and that's it. So I only got a biker crate and a t-shirt from all that. That was for 700 points.
So I got a wanderer crate, which gave me a blue mini skirt, which my guy looks really cute in the mini skirt now.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually wear that, so that way when I'm crawling around on the ground in front of you, you got a nice view of my balls.
Now, is this a PG-13 type of?
Oh, that actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, let's stick with that. Oh, and there's your gas mask. I got the same gas mask your character was wearing a second ago.
It's funny because this is the same outfit I was wearing when it first came out, so I didn't really progress a whole lot, but it's kind of funny that I kept the outfit that I was in originally.
Okay, I guess I would have to go into customize and actually to equip it, but we're not going to bother with that right now. There's 2 different modes. There's TPP and FPP. TPP is third-person mode, and FPP is first-person mode. So there's only 2 of us, and they don't have a 2-person version of TPP, so it looks like we're going to be playing in first-person mode. And pressing ready.
All right, there we go.
Oh my God! Thank God that freaking music is done now.
See, they didn't have vaulting when I was playing this, so they really came along quite a bit with some of the things that they've done.
Yeah, you know what? I jumped into this and I realized that the keyboard commands are much different than what I'm used to. So yeah, they have a separate jump and a vault. And you can have them bind both to the same key, which sometimes I notice when trying to jump through a window, it kind of like does the first one. It just does a jump. And then that delay can actually get you freaking killed. I don't even use the actual vault anymore. I think I disabled it and just did the jump. Same thing with aim down sights. I think I disabled. They have an aim and an aim down sights, and I'm playing first person mode here, and that's how I would choose to play the game regardless. So I just prefer to just always be aiming down sights. So I've switched my hotkeys for that. So I have fiddled with my hotkeys to make it a little bit more comfortable for me. And someone coming into this game, that's something I would highly suggest is definitely look through all their key bindings and customize it and make it good for the way you play.
Two. Holy boy. There's a whole bunch of them here, man. Give me something.
Where are they?
They are everywhere in here. On top, right there. Top of the hill. Marking right there, up on top of the hill. Going inside the building.
Right. Going up there. Got him.
Love this Mosin, dude.
Big fight out there, man. We should go flank one of them while they're busy.
Yeah. And they are just beating the piss out of each other out there. You went upstairs yet?
No.
Level 2 backpack if you want it.
I got level 3.
You could change something that it seems to me like there's a lot more readily available items that you can get now. It seems before you might be struggling to try to find some stuff, and it might be I don't know if it's a server thing or I don't know, but I'm not struggling anymore trying to find what I want. Before it's like I need a certain attachment for this gun or something, and
I'm saying someone's got a hard job of going around just freaking throwing stuff in all these buildings everywhere.
see the train.
I think it's silly to have this freaking jump and vault as two separate different thingies.
I just use vault. I just use my space bar, dude. I don't even jump.
Problem with the vault is that long animation.
There used to be a way that you could jump and crouch and that you can bypass the whole thing and just jump through a window without even having to vault or anything in it.
Where the hell are we? Because it's like every freaking few feet there's another church. These people need that much religion in their lives?
You figure about the carnage going on here, probably wouldn't hurt. I don't know. Let's see, what is it? Throw them on. Let's see, toggle canters, Alt, and there we go.
A lot of people. Making sure that I have a shotgun for when we get into the small circle close combat area. Someone died here.
Definitely no shortage of weapons laying around. My goodness.
So this is the outfit that the guy was freaking wearing. It's no wonder he was killed. That was pretty close.
Oh, we need to get inside, dude. Oh, right there, right there. Straight 85, straight east.
Dead.
Got him. Oh, we both got him. We both got one. That seems to be a death row in this spot here.
All right, someone's shooting at me. All right,
Right next to you.
let's move. Someone on the left, though, took a pop shot at me, so I'm not exactly sure where they are. Yeah, they're going to be pushed this way, too, so they're going to be right on our tail.
It's really cool. We're gonna have to move here quick. That the blue line's moving on us pretty quick.
Right in front of me. Oh, got him. With a shotgun from that range. Wow.
No, right?
I don't see a reason to use any other freaking weapon. Alright, his buddy's shooting at me.
Where though? Oh shit, we're taking hits. We gotta get inside the circle.
I'm inside.
Oh, I just got knocked. I'm down. I'm knocked.
Alright. I got like 1 hit point left, so I'm trying to heal up.
He's right by the. They're standing right by the tree right where I'm at. He's gonna kill me. He's standing he's right by me. There's one's crawling on the ground, the other one's he's in a prone position right by the tree, right by there you go. Good job, dude. Alright, I'm right by this hurry up, dude. I'm gonna die here. I'm about ready to die. You're crouched, by the way. I'm glad that the hit point stops when you're reviving, because before that they didn't do that. You still had to get
Whoa.
the
Oh, we're dead.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Oh.
That blue moves freaking fast. Oh yeah. No way we're gonna fucking survive this. We're dead. 13th. All right. All right, you ready to score this?
Yes, I am.
All right. So we use our simple scoring system here, 0 through 20 points for each of the 5 categories. And we start off with graphics. And why don't you go ahead and start us off?
I think for this one, it's not bad. Before I set the settings, adjusted the settings, it seemed really soft and the edges were really soft, and it almost felt like a cartoonish fluff feeling. But after, with your guidance, you gave me some settings and I was able to fine tune it and so forth, and it looks good. I like it. I don't have nothing against it. So it does feel a little bit dated, but it's not too bad. I think for the amount of time that it's been around, I think it's done very well. And so for me, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 17 for that.
Like minds think alike, and I'm actually gonna fall around a 17 also. And the reason being is just as you said, the graphics are fine. They've held up quite well, but you can see that they are a little bit dated. It's just the age of the game is starting to show, and that's the only reason that the graphics have actually taken any kind of hit as far as the scoring goes. But overall, they work. The animations are a little clunky when you're jumping in and out of the freaking windows. I wish they would speed up that animation a little bit when you're vaulting. But other than that, the graphics looked really passable. I don't want to say great, but I mean, they're not Apex Legends, level. They're not Warzone level. It's the age of the game. So I think a 17 is actually a really fair score for that. Next, we got sound and music. I'll go ahead and start this one off. So as far as freaking music goes, there's only one song in the game, and that's when you are sitting in the menus. And the very first time you hear it, it's kind of like this rock freaking tune, and you're like, whoa, okay, this song's fitting for this freaking game. And then it gets done freaking playing, and you're sitting there, you're still doing your menu settings and everything. You're setting your graphic settings, your audio settings and everything. The music gets done playing, and then it loops, and it plays that same song again. And the second time, it's not as enjoyable. And the third time, it's starting to get freaking annoying. And the fourth time, you're just like, okay, time to turn this freaking music off. I'm done with it. There is no music in the game, so that's it. That one freaking song, which is just eventually gets annoying as hell. So the music sucks, quite honestly. Sound effects overall, however, were quite well. For the time, again, we're talking about an age thing here. For the time, the sound is actually quite good. When that red zone was coming in and the bombs were happening, you heard everything. I had no problem hearing people outside the buildings. You seem to have a different experience than me when it comes to that, but you'll explain that when you talk about this. But I thought overall the weapons and everything sounded fairly accurate. I also noticed that in the settings they gave 2 different sound profiles, the newer sounds or legacy sounds. So if you don't like the current sounds, you could try the other version of them and see if that's suits your taste a little bit better. I think for sound and music, I'm going to fall on a 15 here.
That great mistake, like I gave it a 15 as well. So I completely agree. Everything what you just said. When it came to the ambient sound or the, I don't know, just where the firing is, I was really, especially when it was close, I couldn't tell if it was in front of me or behind me. And the only way that I could really do it is by turning myself away so I can hear it left or right. It was just very straight. It was difficult for me to get my orientation to where I was actually standing versus this person. And that was the only problem. The music was monotonous, but I'm pretty sure everybody, that 98% of the people have already got that shut off. But you would think in the time frame that they've had this game that they could probably put another, it's not too difficult to add another MP4 into the line and add tracks. Something else, right, just to add something to it. So I'm going to give it a 15.
Next we have UI and menus. You go ahead and take this.
I'm going to give it 20. I didn't have any trouble whatsoever navigating through what I want to look at. It was very simple, very clean, and I wasn't frustrated. And that's how I gauge this. A lot of it is to, how frustrating do I get trying to navigate or trying to understand something? And it seemed to be very easy to just do this, click this, and you're done, and you got what you wanted. So I'm just gonna give it a 20.
Let me ask you something. You played this during when it released, back when it was in
the early access. Yeah.
So have menus changed much since then compared to now?
I'm pretty sure that I have, but I would only assume that they have done something, just because back then I wasn't as frustrated either. I remember it wasn't something I was bugged about, and I would only assume that the time frame that they've had this, I'm pretty sure they've added some little tweaks in there. Now, the one thing I did remember is that is different, I guess, thinking about it now, is that they didn't have the extensive clothing shop and the customized skins and stuff like that. And so I knew that you could be able to eventually you get the money, and there's a shop that you get money in per game for battle points, whatever. And it was very simple stuff, like you can unlock a t-shirt, a great t-shirt. It wasn't fancy, but now thinking about it, definitely there's a huge difference between now is like you got colored skins and vehicle skins and utility skins, and so definitely yeah, they have changed. Yeah.
All right, so for the UI and menus, I actually thought everything was laid out pretty well. First thing I always have to do when I go into a new game like this is change the resolution, because I'm on an ultra wide monitor. Seeing that they actually support my ultra wide monitor resolution was a plus in their favor. Tells me that they're keeping the game up to date after all this time. And I think maybe going free to play was probably one of the best things that they could have freaking done. I think they started to finally lose some of their player base over the years, and competing against the other games, the big ones, Fortnite, Warzone, Apex Legends. They started to feel that little pinch, especially when those games are free. So they figure, okay, we have to go that free to play model also. But if their game itself is showing its age, UI and menus are not. They are actually right up there with the other games I just mentioned. No freaking different. It's what you would expect in a modern day battle royale. So just like you, I'm going with a 20 on this one. This brings us to gameplay and combat. I'll go ahead and start this off. My only issue with gameplay is little things. I'm gonna make that really clear. It's kind of nitpicking. It's stuff that, while we're seeing other battle royale games come out like Apex Legends, Warzone, Fortnite, they have kind of improved upon the process. Considering that this game has been around since 2017, you would think that they would actually kind of improved on some of the stuff also, but it seems like they've wanted to stay grounded to what the game was as far as their vision goes. So little things like having multiple keys assigned to similar features, like you have an aim down sight key, or you have an aim key. One's for third person firing, the other's for first person firing, and you can have both of those keys locked to one single key, which means if you press that one single key, it's gonna do the aim first. If you press it a second time, if you do like tap tap, then it'll do the second one. I don't think everything needs to be that complicated. The same thing with the jump and vaulting. I don't think you need both. Just make it a seamless thing. If I want to jump over this hole in the wall or jump through this window, Warzone does it great, Fortnite does it great, Apex does it great. It's something that they really should consider freaking upgrading. You don't need to have it as two individual different functions, and they seem to do that with several different things in the game, and that's one of the things that kind of irks me about the actual gameplay part of it. Other than that, I really don't have much to freaking complain about. And I know there's something else I wanted to touch base on, and it's escaping my freaking mind. If it's escaping my mind, then it couldn't have been that freaking important. But the important thing is, for me, as far as the gameplay goes, it would have been that multi-key thing. The combat itself actually didn't feel bad at all. And there you go. Now I freaking remember what it is. As far as the combat goes, the one thing I would do if I was them is, it almost feels to me like one of the best freaking weapons in the game is the shotgun. Hands down. all the other freaking automatic weapons seem to have this massive recoil to them, which I don't think the recoil needs to be that extreme. I would say lower it to about half of what it is, and you'd probably be sitting in a real good spot. But when a guy is like a few feet in front of me and I'm shooting at him, and half my clip, or my entire clip except for one bullet, you know, misses the freaking guy, yeah, that's not good. It seems like the shotgun is the more accurate freaking gun, especially in those close counter situations. But I even hit one guy from range with the shotgun and killed him in one shot. So I don't know. For me, this is the type of game that every time I queue up, I'm gonna always be on the search for a freaking shotgun. That's gonna be my go-to freaking weapon in this particular game. Gameplay and combat, I am going. Again, a lot of this has to do with age, and a lot of this has to do with me nitpicking and everything. But like I said, it's those hotkeys that really get to me. That's the biggie for me. I'm gonna go with a 14 here.
All right, so I think this is where you and I differ. Is I had a great experience, and only because I think that because I started this back in the beta early access, is that I'm used to a certain gameplay to playing this, and I didn't vary from hardly any course whatsoever from then to now. And so I was still playing like I have been when I did a long time ago. And in fact, I think I actually did better this time than I did back then. And so I had a great experience with the game. The combat was fun. Other than just the sound, like I think if I got my orientation, I would do a lot better. My aims were better. I was killing things. It was more pleasurable for me. And so actually, I have nothing wrong against it. I'm giving it a 20. I really enjoy it. I really did.
That's fair. Like anything else, you know, what may be your cup of tea may not be mine, and vice versa. I'm used to the smoothness of games like Warzone and Apex Legends. To me, that I felt more comfortable in, but then again, maybe you didn't feel comfortable in those particular games compared to this one. This brings us to our last category, and this is the big one: cash shop, pay to win. And I'll start this. Again, we went into the freaking cash shop. I did not see anything in there that was pay to win. I saw skins for cars, skins for the characters, skins for the guns, costumes, emotes, you know, some dances. The only thing I saw that I didn't like was loot crate, a random loot crate. And I'm not a fan of those, but they're not giving anything in those loot crates that's pay to win. So I'm just going to knock 1 point off just for the fact that you got loot crates in the freaking game. And I'm going to go ahead and give this category a 19.
I didn't have anything wrong with it. I think that I didn't see any pay to win whatsoever. Even with the loot crate, we tried it out, and I got a t-shirt. I mean, and I got like a vehicle skin and a t-shirt. I didn't see it. I mean, as far as I know, I didn't see anything in there that could be a benefit to paying something to be able to shoot better and stuff. And so I think it's just I think that maybe it's a nice little surprise. I think it's a little added thing. So I don't have nothing against it. So I'm gonna give it a 20.
I mean, my only issue with loot crates is, you know, honestly, it's for our younger generation. It's when they sit there and get a hold of freaking dad's credit card or whatever, and they go in and buy a loot crate or 2 or 3 because they're trying to get something for cheaper than what it's actually selling for in the store. Or in the case when they have special events and they're having something that's only available in the loot crate and you can't actually buy it, then, you know, at that point the kids are actually gambling. They're spending dad's money to freaking gamble. I remember hearing some news stories, some of these kids freaking racking up a huge freaking credit card bill on dad's credit card concerning some games with loot crates. So I'm just not a real big fan of them. All right, so adding my scores together, I came up with a total of 85.
And I added mine up, and I have a total of 92.
Adding our totals together, we come up with a total of 177. And dividing that by 2, since there's 2 of us playing, gives us a final total of 88.5. Which gives us a final letter grade of With a grade of A, this game exceeds most expectations and is definitely worth checking out. Even if you don't stay with the game long term, this is definitely one to try at least once just so you can say that you tried it. Regardless, it's definitely worth your time and hard drive space. Anyways, that's it for our ×2 review for this game. We hope you enjoyed it and found it informative, and we will catch you again on the next ×2 review.